Hello everyone, welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tuesday, October 17, 2023. Lois meets Chase today. Gregory and Tracy discuss his sickness, and Cyrus reminds Austin who is in control. Lois discovers Eddie in the Quartermain kitchen and declares that she has been searching for him all around. She says they're alone so he can tell her he remembers her. She saw his expression when he saw her. He admits she seems familiar, but that's all there is to it. Lois reminisces on her time with Ned, their romance, discovering he was really Ned Ashton, and leaving him despite having his child. Eddie maintains he has no recollection of her, their wedding, or their daughter. Brooke Lynn then walks in with Chase. Chase is introduced to Lois by Brooke Lynn. She is overjoyed to see how happy they are together and tells Chase that he should feel honored since her daughter never settles for second best and always follows her heart. Eddie inquires whether Lois' heart led her to him. She claims they have a compiled past, which Chase despises. Chase doesn't mind, so they take a seat. Lois describes how her emotions led her to a man who did not exist. She recalls being young and innocent when she fell in love with Eddie Main, whom she mistook for a salesperson by day and a rocker at night. When they met, she had no idea he was Ned Ashton, who had married another woman while still married to her. Lois inquires if this is familiar to him, but Eddie has no recollection of it. He claims he is no longer living a double life and expresses regret for who he was and how he treated her. Lois claims that Eddie is an alter ego, but he isn't, so how many Eddies do you think he has? She screams that she and Ned had many memories together, but he has forgotten all of the horrific things he has put her through, as well as the great times they have had. She feels sorry for him. He storms off, yelling that he doesn't need her sympathy since he's okay. Lois apologizes to Chase, but he laughs that he now knows where her daughter's spirit comes from. Brooke Lynn is delighted Chase finally got to meet her mother, and Lois agrees. Tracy is waiting for Finn to arrive for backgammon night in another part of the home. Gregory instead appears, claiming to have a score to settle with her. She tells him to give it to her, but he thanks her for doing what he had been putting off. She's surprised he's not angry. He is, but he also understands that anger is a waste of time. Tracy chuckles, then apologizes since she expected him to be angry rather than wax philosophical. She sees anger as a resource that can be put to good use. He is not surprised. Tracy inquires as to how he is handling things. He confesses he's getting weaker and will most likely need to use a cane for balance shortly. He accepts her offer of a scotch. She says she is delighted he stopped by and regrets saying what she did. He is aware that there was no malice involved. Tracy inquires as to why Finn abandoned her, and he responds that Violet has a cold. He volunteers to play in Finn's place because he taught Finn how to play. She accepts his proposal. Gregory wins 3 games in a row, and Tracy compliments him on his abilities. He's exhausted, and he has to get home. She expresses her excitement for the following game. Tracy informs Gregory that Yuri will drive him home. She apologizes once more for his diagnosis and gives him a hug and a kiss on the cheek. Later, Eddie approaches Tracy and complains to her about that woman Lois, who continues to talk about their past. Tracy says she isn't a fan of Lois, but he must understand how important this is to her. Eddie does, but how difficult is this for him? He's not the same person he used to be. When he's spinning like this, he notices Brooke Lynn's keyboard and notes. She abandons him at the piano. Tracy walks into the kitchen and finds Chase giving Lois the embrace she asked. Tracy informs Lois that they are together due of her. Thus, she should thank her after Chase and BLQ leave. Tracy is chastised by Lois for blackmailing her daughter. Joss arrives at the station and requests that a cop speak with Dante, claiming that it is a matter of life and death. Dante is led to her by the police. Joss informs him that Ava is in danger. Dante notices Pilar and Avery in the station. Joss informs him about Ava's disappearance, the shattered martini glass and cell phone she left at the estate, and a lollipop discovered at Windermere that isn't Avery's. Dante enters the questioning room with Avery, Joss, and Pilar and requests Avery to sit with Joss and Pilar for the time being. He tells an officer in the squad room to fetch them anything they need, then takes off. Dex examines a basement in Poturk while staying in communication with Spinelli, who is in a van with various electronic devices. Dex discovers that it is absolutely empty. This was the haulage company's last property, and they were out of leads. Just then, Dex discovers a piece of fabric and suspects Ava was present, so he requests that Spinelli check the traffic cameras for Mason's vehicle. Spinelli returns to the station and contacts Joss to see if Dex has contacted her. She replies he hasn't, and Spinelli reveals that Dex chased Mason's car and is now in a cell phone dead zone. Joss instructs him to use his technology to locate Dex, and she promises to notify him if she hears from him. Joss then calls Dante to inform him of Dex's last known location. Drew tells Carly in his hospital room that the doctors say he's recovered enough to go to prison. Carly believes it is far too soon, and that if he returns to Pentonville, the people who attempted to murder him will complete the job. He assures her that he would be all right, and she should let him cope with his problem. She claims that this is also his condition. She blames herself for what happened to him since she engaged in insider trading, but he thinks it's the responsibility of the guy who turned them into the SEC and inflated what transpired. In other news, Cyrus runs into Austin in the hallway and informs him that they have some unfinished business. Cyrus expresses gratitude to him for testifying and assisting him in obtaining his freedom. Austin requests that he follow their agreement and free Ava. Austin is paged, and Cyrus informs him that his patients appear to require his services. Cyrus phones Mason as Austin departs. When Cyrus walks in to meet Drew, Carly exclaims, "What the hell?" Carly inquires as to how he escaped from prison. He explains that he was released from a hospital and came directly to see his pal Drew. He is, nevertheless, relieved to see Carly. Cyrus wants Carly to realize that any disagreements they had in the past, particularly those involving Sonny, are regrettable and occurred before he discovered God. He intends to make peace to her at some point, but she urges him not to hold his breath. He believes she should be grateful that he came to Drew's help, as he was the one who saved Drew in the showers. Drew was completely unaware. He bids them farewell and exits. Mason takes Ava to a lonely and dark location. She tells him he doesn't have to do this, but he insists. She warns him about what Sonny would do to him, but promises to cover for him if she lets him leave. He tells her she's lying and that he won't let her go. He says they'll wait for his orders here. Mason receives a phone call from Cyrus, who instructs him to take Ava home. Ava inquires as to who was on the phone, but Mason dismisses her and declares, "To hell with the boss' orders." Mason jumps out of the car and pulls Ava out while she fights him. Dex appears, revolver drawn, and demands Mason to release Ava. Ava commands him to take the shot. Mason fires first at Dex, misses, and Ava flees. Dex tackles Mason, and the two battle along the cliff edge. When Dante arrives and shoots Mason in the back, Ava, who is hiding behind a car, yells at Mason to stop. Dante summons an ambulance, and Ava expresses gratitude to Dex for saving her life. He refers to it as a collaborative effort. Mason, who has 2 bullets in his back but is still alive, is checked on by Dante. Dante asks Ava what she's doing here, and she says Mason kidnapped her and planned to murder her for his master. She doesn't know who the boss is, but he'll be sorry when she finds out. Austin returns to the hospital and joins Cyrus in an elevator. Austin requests to talk with Ava, stating that he needs to know if she is okay. Cyrus reminds him that he is not in a position to make demands and that he must remember who is in charge. Meanwhile, Carly receives a call from Joss, who informs her mother that everything is fine, but that something has occurred and she should return home. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.